Thanks for the introduction, Dave. I'm Scott Hoppy, and I'm a geologist with a background in environmental reporting for hazardous waste sites, and the founder and CEO of Sabreez. So Sabreez shows energy consumers when the electric power supply is cleaner in markets that have a lot of wind and solar, like California. So let me ask a question. How many people here would prefer to use clean energy over power from fossil fuels? If you'd prefer to use cleaner energy, could you please just raise your hand? That's like everybody. You're a great crowd. Thank you for participating. So now the fun part. So the wind number is wind power over power from fossil fuels times 100. And it was patented in 2013 and participated in the American Energy Challenge along with Watt Time and Ohm Connect, who some of you may have heard of. More recently, we introduced the Solar Boost because California installed a lot of solar. Together, the clean energy factor that's created by the sum of those formulas can be licensed by utilities, telecommunications companies, and smart home companies that want to extend the offer of automation to you, the energy consumer. So it's taken several years to get here. Can you find the member of Sabreez in the audience today? Besides me? Ross Malmy isn't here, but he invented the AMR meter. That's the type of meter that can read your usage when it drives past your house. We met Ross during the 2017 Clean Tech Open, and Ross is a utility industry leader. Susan Mazur-Stoneman presented the wind number at the BEC conference in 2017. We've been invited back to the BEC conference this fall to introduce program managers in California to our week ahead clean energy forecast. And Michael Perone's been in the news a lot lately. He started the first B Corporation in Virginia. Sabreez is a public benefit corporation. And our social mission is to reduce energy costs in households that are spending a disproportionate amount of their money already on their energy bills. So this is the situation when you install a lot of wind and solar. You have hours of the day when there's too much solar, but you still have to crank up natural gas peaker plants each afternoon to meet demand. Now, there's a lot of people working on the peaker plant problem, but Sabreez has always thought if you show people when the best hours are to actually use a resource that you need, it would help to reduce the peaker plant load. And we're at that point now where curtailment has just about doubled over the last year. So you can think of our clean energy factor as a tachometer for clean energy. Just like your car's tachometer shows you the revs of your engine, Sabreez's clean energy factor shows you when your energy is cleaner. Our competition you could think of as smog control. Once we defined electric power in this way, it was evident that there are a whole bunch of consumer engagement opportunities that we could show to consumers, like a daily clean energy forecast showing people the best hours of the day to run their appliances or charge their car. Now we're getting data from Tesla forecasting a full week in advance, so we can show you the best hours of the week to run your appliances, as well as the worst hours when we might have critical peak pricing events, when prices are really high and there's not enough electric power to go around. So a lot of people think, how am I going to shift when I use electric power? Well, you can do it manually, but there are more and more consumer-facing applications that can show the clean energy factor on the application. You can see the different use cases on the slide. Our competition is basically any emissions-related platform. The method chosen by most participants is to show marginal emissions, which show how much carbon is being created by that last peaker plant that's turning on when you run your dishwasher or charge your car. The trouble with this approach is marginal emissions don't change that much because most of the power plants are of equal efficiency. So it goes from 0 up to 1. So take a look at this chart because it shows you in the green line what the clean energy factor is. It's the sum of the wind number and solar boost. And the red line is pricing. When you install a lot of wind and solar, power prices drop when it's sunny and windy. It's a very simple message that's repeated every time you see the clean energy factor. You realize you're saving money using cleaner energy. Maybe we don't have to pay people as much money if we just show them when energy is cleaner and they find value in their behavior associated with the product that they're using. So we're in California, expanding into Texas and the Plain States. And European countries of Germany, Spain, and Britain all have their data and have enough wind and solar that we can expand there soon. Our largest customer would be an electric power utility, and we have a free license for smaller companies. But there's a variety of use cases for showing people when the electric power supply is cleaner. It's taken about $200,000 in investment up to this stage, and we're funding our first $600,000 seed round. Over the next 6 weeks, we'll close on a $100,000 convertible note. Our costs are low, and we can get to cash flow positive after about a $3 million investment. The seed round will get our first 6 customers, and we hope to find our first customers at the BEC conference in the fall. I wanted to leave you with this. So we all know global warming is this huge problem that you can't solve. But if you see when energy is cleaner, you don't need any technology to use it at all. Your dishwasher probably already has a delay button on it, or you can manually control when you run your appliances. And as you get used to using clean energy, you'll adopt the technologies that enable you to hit auto and shift when you use electric power, which our customers would really like. So thank you all for your attention.
Scott, that was a lot of really good information about this product. Can you give us a little bit more detail on who really is the customer? I'm not real clear on that yet.
Right. Well, the customer could be a program manager within the utility. They are tasked with engaging you, the energy consumer, into their programs, or a product manager with someone that has a connected thermostat or an appliance app. So they're corporations, and while our message is facing the consumer, our customer it's a B2B model.
Okay. And tell us how you're going to get to those program managers and program directors.
Well, it's a long sales cycle that we've been working on for more than a year now, and participating in the Clean Tech Open introduced us to our customers. They're aware of us. And we have a different range of marketing materials that we're feeding to utilities and community energy choice companies. And it's just a matter of time till they succumb because they need our product.
Do they know that?
Yeah. Well, the state of California is switching to mandatory time of use pricing. And they charge you more when you come home from work and want to cook your dinner. And that's what people think of when they think of, their rates changing. Why are you doing this to me? You just want more money.
So you have salespeople, or is that your plan
I'm
to
the
hire?
salesperson.
Okay. But is that the plan, or are you thinking about partners, or?
Yeah, well, the message of energy being cleaner is really a marketing message. We're trying to achieve a behavior change with our technology. So although we have a pretty deep technology product, it's designed for marketing. It's designed to do a daily clean energy forecast in an engaging manner that you can't do if you're showing people how polluted the electric power supply is.
So thank you. That's a lot of really great information. I'm wondering what your thoughts are on the fact that research has shown that given additional information, that a habit may be good or bad, that's not likely to change behaviors. So do you have any plans for incentivizing users in a particular way, or having a user interface that you manage?
Well, if we were to get a contract with a utility, they might contract with us to produce a mobile app for the utility or the community choice aggregator. That would be something we could do. But all of our customers that have smart home products jealously guard their customer base, and all they need to do is integrate our API into their user interface, and then their marketing department can actually increase the user experience from the repetitive message of, hey, clean energy is cranking this evening between, well, it's not the evening. Clean energy is cranking between 9 and 3 today. It's a great time for you to hit auto. So that stimulus should eventually get somebody to go to their appliances and go, why am I using electric power now when it's cleaner at such and such a time? Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
I did? Okay. All right. Wasn't sure.
Hey, Scott, quick question. So there's a lot of data coming through this type of product. Is there a monetization plan after that aggregation, or is there a wall that you're going to hit to get to that point?
Well, the model of a license fee model is scalable. I think what we want to do is do what we do really well, and our markets are going to expand based on the development of wind and solar. So we want to scale as quickly as possible, but look at, the regions of the world where our product applies are all over the place, and how we license it to Germany might be different to how we do it in Texas. We'll have to see.
A quick follow-up. So you said you're looking for $140K in a note?
Well, a $100,000 convertible note
Okay.
in the next 6 weeks. And then we should close our seed round by the first of the year. And the seed round should get us our first half dozen customers.
And just one other clarification. So with the sales cycles, from an investment standpoint, when can you reasonably expect for a Series A round after that note closes?
Well,
So is
a Series A closing would probably be 12 to 24 months, depending on how fast we spend the seed round. We're trying not to spend money.
We have time for a question from the audience.
So if I understand correctly, the goal is to encourage users to shed load or shift load, shift demand. What percentage of load is truly shiftable in your typical customer?
Well, we have a pricing model based on up to 5% of the households receiving the stimulus shifting when they use electric power. And that shift might be 1 kilowatt hour per week, and it might be more than that among people that really like the message. So we're not going to make a dent in demand, but a lot of the utilities that I've spoken with want to tell their customers that they're giving them clean energy. They're not necessarily concerned about monetizing the demand that actually happens. So there's those two reasons why you might want to license our API.
Hi. So I really like the idea of the utility contract, and I'm wondering, thinking through this, what's the incentive for the utility company if you're giving, say, information to reduce usage and showing them when their peak rates are? How is the utility company going to find this a really good deal? What's the incentive?
Well, utilities in California are highly regulated, and they do get compensated for consumer-facing programs. That's one approach. Another approach might be to go just through the marketing department of the utility that wants to tell people, yeah, we're meeting your needs. And so really what should happen is the utility should sponsor this because they're the trusted brand in each region, like Southern California Edison, Pacific Gas and Electric, and San Diego Gas and Electric. And then the smart home companies should follow so that there's, as consumers, we need to see the message coming at us from multiple different directions. That would be wonderful, but it's a big lift.
Thanks, Scott.
All right.